ये मनाजिर आप देख रहे हैं। अंकारा में नेटो समिट मुनक़िद हो रहा है और इस हवाले से आपको बताएं कि नॉर्थ अटलांटिक ट्रीटी अलायंस जिसे कायम हुए 77 साल हो चुके हैं। इसका इजलास होने जा रहा है तुर्की में।
अगर हम 58% पर खड़े थे सिंध में शरह खानदगी को लेकर, जिसका भी एक स्टैंडर्ड डिबेटेबल है, हम अभी 57.5 कमी तो क्यों आ गई? मतलब ये तो अनइमेजिनेबल होनी चाहिए थी। जी सादिया साहिबा, आपको आवाज आ रही है? आपका माइक म्यूट है, जरा देखिएगा, चेक कर लीजिएगा एंड देन यू कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम।
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच हुमायूं अब्दुल्ला। देखें, जो सर्वे दिया गया है, मैंने उसको चेक किया है और एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट से बात की, उससे तो मैं एग्री नहीं करती, लेकिन फिर भी नंबर बहुत बड़ा है, फिर भी नंबर बहुत बड़ा, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। एंड देयर आर डेफिनेटली आउट ऑफ स्कूल का जो नंबर पूरे पाकिस्तान में, मेरे सूबे में भी और पूरे पाकिस्तान में नहीं होना चाहिए जो नंबर है। लेकिन जो आप बात करें, देखें, सबसे बड़ा हमें तो स्कूल स्ट्रक्चर को चैलेंज आया था 2022 की फ्लडिंग में, क्योंकि या तो स्कूल खत्म हो गए थे और या वो रेफ्यूजी के लिए हमने इस्तेमाल किए थे, तो जो इनरोलमेंट थी उसको बहुत डैमेज हुआ। लेकिन जो इस वक्त पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमिक सर्वे की रिपोर्ट है, आप उसको उठा के देख लो, और उसमें उन्होंने कहा है कि सिंध गवर्नमेंट ने इनरोलमेंट में, स्ट्रक्चरिंग में बेहतरी की है। आई एम नॉट सेइंग ऑन माय ओन, दिस इज पाकिस्तान सर्वे, इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में ये बात कही गई है। हम देखें, सबसे पहले स्कूल की स्ट्रक्चरिंग के लिए हमें वर्ल्ड बैंक सपोर्ट कर रहा है। जिन बिल्डिंग्स को नुकसान पहुंचा था या जिन इलाकों में नए स्कूल्स की जरूरत है, वहां से गवर्नमेंट वर्ल्ड बैंक के साथ कोलैबोरेशन में काम कर रही है। दूसरा, टीचर्स का मसला था। आपको पता है, हम वाहिद सूबा हैं जिन्होंने टेस्टिंग के थ्रू टीचर्स की इनरोलमेंट की है। सबसे बड़ा सूबा है, जितना बड़ा नंबर शफाफ तरीके से टीचर्स का इनरोल किया गया है वो सिंध में हुआ है।
सादिया साहिबा, सॉरी, मैं यहाँ इधर एक और प्रॉब्लम भी पॉइंट आउट कर दूं जिसके बारे में आप जवाब दे सकती हैं। एक सिंध से ही ताल्लुक है गोस्ट टीचर्स, यानी गोस्ट स्कूल्स का भी हम सुनते थे, यानी नाम के स्कूल हैं लेकिन स्कूल है नहीं, और टीचर्स का तो खास तौर पे, क्योंकि उनको उनकी तनख्वाहें वगैरह मिल रही हैं, तनख्वाहें मिलती हैं, वो जहाँ पहुंचते हैं स्कूलों में ना कोई पढ़ाई होती है, मतलब दे आर नॉट देयर
एंड दे प्रॉब्ली नॉट टीचर्स एज वेल।
नहीं हुमा, वो वाला मसला तो अब ऑलमोस्ट खत्म है। देखिए, मैं ये नहीं कह सकती कि 100%, लेकिन 90% आई एम श्योर कि वो मसला खत्म हो चुका है, जो गोस्ट टीचर्स का है, गोस्ट एम्प्लॉयज का है, क्योंकि टेस्टिंग फॉर्मूला दे दिया गया है। आप IBA के थ्रू टेस्ट क्वालिफाई करेंगे और आप टीचर्स को लाइसेंसेस भी दिए जा रहे हैं, वही टीचिंग उसमें जाएंगे जिनके पास लाइसेंसिंग होगा। तो आई थिंक वो गोस्ट वाला जो मसला है वो खत्म हो चुका है। इस वक्त 10,000 प्राइमरी स्कूल हर 6 महीने में गवर्नमेंट उनको जो है वो रीडू करेगी, उनको अपग्रेड कर रही है। वर्ल्ड बैंक के तवज्जो से ये काम हो रहा है, और जिसमें जो पहला मॉडल था वो 2,500 स्कूल्स का था, जो हो गया है। तो लेकिन फिर भी चैलेंजेस हैं, बिल्कुल आपकी बात सही है।
हमने अभी राना साहब से ये सुना, राना सिकंदर हमें बता रहे थे कि जब से वो न्यूट्रिशन देने वाला सिलसिला शुरू हुआ है, एनरोलमेंट, हमारा यहाँ पे मसला ये है, ठीक है, स्ट्रक्चरल, हाउ टू गेट देम टू स्कूल इज द इशू। अगर स्कूल होगा भी तो बच्चों को स्कूल में लाने के लिए कैसे रागिब किया जाए, इंसेंटिव क्या हो, क्या इस पे क्या काम सोचा है आप लोगों ने?
इस पे बिल्कुल हम काम कर रहे हैं। जो बहुत सारे एरियाज में जहाँ एजुकेशन के लिए खास तौर पे बच्चियों को नहीं भेजा जाता था, वहाँ उन बच्चियों को स्टाइपेंड दिया जा रहा है ताकि उन बच्चियों को स्कूल उनके पेरेंट्स आने दें। सिंध में बहुत बड़ी तादाद में गर्ल्स जो बच्चियां स्कूल जाती हैं उनको स्टाइपेंड गवर्नमेंट दे रही है। यही इसी तरह की अप्रोचेस यूज की जा रही हैं ताकि क्योंकि बच्चों को, लड़कों को तो वो भेजते हैं लेकिन बच्चियों को भेजना मैं इस बात से इनकार नहीं करती जो हुमा ने कहा है कि नहीं बच्चियों को नहीं भेजना, बच्चियों को नहीं पढ़ाना। ये पूरा हर पाकिस्तान के हर शहर में
है ये
मसला मौजूद है। तो इसलिए स्टाइपेंड दिया जाता है जिन बच्चियों को अगर वो क्वालिफाई करती हैं और क्या नाम है हाई नंबर्स लेती हैं तो गवर्नमेंट उस पे उनको कोई ना कोई इनरोलमेंट फीस खत्म कर देती है या कुछ करती ताकि पेरेंट्स पे जो है वो बेयर ना आए।
अच्छा वो तो
जहाँ लड़कों को भेज भी रहे हैं वहाँ ड्रॉप आउट्स इतने होते हैं कि पहली दूसरी तीसरी के बाद कोई लड़का आगे जाता नहीं है। ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा
that is also our next question. जी राना सिकंदर आपसे देखें
if I can intervene here on one point for Sadia madam that देखें जी स्कूल एजुकेशन की तालीम इस मुल्क के आइन के तहत हुई है। So I don't know सिंध गवर्नमेंट कौन सा अच्छे रिजल्ट्स पे स्टाइपेंड दे रही है फ्रॉम क्लास 1 टू क्लास 10 that is age 5 to 16 इस मुल्क के आइन में ये हुक्म है कि तालीम फ्री है। दूसरा ये कि दो चीजों का आपने जिक्र किया। वेल आई कंप्लीटली इंडोर्स कि जो सिंध के एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर हैं वो बड़ी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, मैं उनके साथ काम करता रहता हूँ। बट तीन चीजें देखें, नंबर 1 सादिया जी ने कहा कि मेरिट पे टीचर्स भर्ती हो रहे हैं। पंजाब में ये काम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह पिछले 15 से 20 साल से हो रहा है। आपने ये कहा कि सिंध पहला सूबा है कि जिसने ये अचीव किया। इट इज एब्सोल्युटली इनकरेक्ट। एक्चुअली पंजाब में ये कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है कि मेरिट के बगैर असातिज़ा को भर्ती किया जाए। वेल एटलीस्ट आई हैवंट सीन इट, बी इट व्हाटएवर गवर्नमेंट। नंबर 2 आपने जिक्र किया जी कि हम स्कूल्स की रिहैबिलिटेशन कर रहे हैं वर्ल्ड बैंक के साथ। वो डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स है बट आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन बच्चों के लिए वेल जिस तरह आपने न्यूट्रिशन शुरू की, द अदर प्रोग्राम दैट वी स्टार्टेड इज कि हम एज ऑफ वी स्पीक हम जब बात कर रहे हैं 6000 फाउंडेशन
बराह रास्त देखिए अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप और तुर्क सदर रजब तैयब एर्दोगान मीडिया से गुफ्तगू कर रहे हैं।
ifade etmek istiyorum.
And I would like to express how important this summit is that we are here gathering for.
NATO Liderler Zirvesi'nin bugün Ankara'da yapılıyor olması ve tüm liderlerin şu anda ülkemizde bir araya gelmesi yarın değerli dostum Sayın Trump'la birlikte olması bizlere ayrı bir güç katacaktır.
The fact that we are convening here today for the NATO Ankara summit and that all the leaders are arriving and have arrived and we will be executing the NATO summit tomorrow with the presence of President Trump, which will be adding might and strength to our summit.
Kendilerine tekrar hoş geldiniz diyor.
Once again, I would like to say welcome, Mr. President.
Well, I want to thank you very much. As everybody knows, it's been very much reported. We are great friends. The president has done an incredible job just landing at the airport, to see such a beautiful airport and to have a building named after me. I was very happy about that. That was very nice. The airport is absolutely beautiful. The roads coming in were brand new and beautiful, and you've been a great leader and a respected leader all over the world, and we really do. We've had right from the beginning good chemistry. We've had a very special relationship. Turkey has become, under the president, a very powerful country militarily. People don't know how powerful, actually. They have a lot of our equipment, and they have a lot of great soldiers, and they're really somebody to be reckoned with. And the nice part is that because of the relationship that we have, it's all gone very well. I just want to say that I have a lot of respect for the president, and I think it's really to the benefit of both countries. We're going to be talking today about trade. We're going to be talking about other things having to do with the military, lots of different things. Probably we'll mention Iran, where we have essentially decimated their military. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And we're going to have some very good discussions. But we do a lot of trade with Turkey. We make great things, and they make great things, and we've had it's had a very big impact on both of our countries. So I just want to tell you that it's an honor to be with you, and we're going to have a lot of good meetings. We're going to have good dinners, good food. We're going to have a good time, but mostly we're going to have a lot of work, and we're going to do good things for our countries. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım, havamına kadar geldiniz. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz o yüzden. Çok uzun süren bir dostluğumuz var biliyorsunuz. Son derece saygı duyduğum, yakın bulduğum bir insansınız. Buradaki buluşmalarımızda, görüşmelerimizde 3 konudan bahsedeceğiz. Askeri, ticari ve bir de İran konusundan bahsedeceğiz. Gerçekten çok güçlüsünüz. Çok güçlü askeri ve silah sanayi açısından çok güçlü bir yerdesiniz şu anda. Dolayısıyla teşekkür ediyorum ve çok iyi bir vakit geçirdiğinize inanıyorum.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. President, are you going to sell F-35s to Turkey, and what about the legal restrictions?
Well, it's a decision we're going to make. We have a very good relationship. I would think that many people, I can tell you, many people, including the people sitting right here, thinks, why wouldn't we do that? We have a better relationship with Turkey, and Turkey's been in many ways much more loyal than other countries that we think would be loyal. So, yeah, it's something certainly we would consider. It's a great plane. It's the best, currently the best plane by far. And it's certainly something we will consider, yeah.
Mr. President, sir.
Yes, Daniel, please.
You said last week that President Erdogan was the big reason you wanted to come to the summit here. What is the relationship so special? Your own words. What do you broadly hope to achieve here?
You never know why a relationship is special. Some people you get along with, and some people you don't. Sometimes you get along with the toughest people, like him, and sometimes you don't get along with the weakest, most pathetic people. You just don't get along. Maybe you don't respect them, but from Mr. Brunson, it was a very big thing, and it was a very big thing. It was very traumatic. It was sentenced to a long-term prison sentence. I felt he was innocent. Other people called the king, and it was very traumatic. It was sentenced to a long-term prison sentence, and I felt he was innocent. And I called. Other people called. They got nowhere. I called the president, and he released him immediately. It was something that the evangelical community will never forget, and because he was a good man, Pastor Brunson. So, just things like that. We just it's always worked out. And I think it's been from the very beginning, from the first moment. I said it before, it's a chemistry that works between us. There are those that I don't have a good chemistry with, I will tell you that. And we work that out too.
Mr. President, are further troop drawdowns in Europe are you likely to announce further troop drawdowns in Europe?
Say it?
Are further troop drawdowns in Europe likely? And are you satisfied with the progress that NATO allies have made?
Well, we're going to see. I was very disappointed with NATO. And frankly, if it weren't held in Turkey, where my friend happens to be a very strong leader, a very strong person, it's possible that I wouldn't have attended. I felt I had to attend because of the fact that, I know he's gone all out. It was a big thing to have NATO come to Turkey or any place else. It's a big thing. But we weren't treated well because we did something in Iran. We don't need anybody's help. I didn't even want their help. But before I asked, they said they wouldn't be there. And we've invested trillions of dollars in NATO. Why? To protect European countries and others, Canada, etc., but to protect people, countries from, generally speaking, it used to be the Soviet Union, now it's Russia. And I say that's fine, but you would think that they'd be very well after the war is over. I said, I don't need that kind of help. We didn't need any help at all. And in a way, I was testing people. I was testing to see whether or not they'd be there, because I've long said that we helped them, but I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. And Italy turned us down, and Germany turned us down, and testing people. I was testing to see whether or not they'd be there, because I've long said that we helped them, but it's okay. But, why are we spending hundreds of billions of dollars and they're not there for us? We've always been there for them.
Türkiye ile Suriye arasında Türkiye'de efendim.
Habertürk'le İran'daki savaşın sona erdirilmesi için oldukça çaba sarf ettiniz. Müzakere süreci devam ediyor ancak nihai bir anlaşma noktasına gelinmiş değil. Bundan sonraki süreçte Türkiye nasıl adımlar atacak İran ve ABD arasındaki müzakere sürecinin olumlu bir şekilde neticelenmesi için?
Bu süreçte yine aynı bizler İran-Amerika ilişkilerini nasıl bir düzleme kavuştururuz? Amerika ilişkilerini nasıl bir düzleme kavuştururuz? Onun gayreti içerisindeyiz. Elimizden geleni yapmak suretiyle dünya barışına bir adım atalım diye gerek şahsım gerek arkadaşlarım hep birlikte çalışacağız.
Gazze'ye sormak isterim ben sizlere. 80 bine yakın insan hayatını kaybetti Gazze'de. Çok büyük de bir yıkım var. Ateşkes sağlandı ama yer yerde ihlaller devam ediyor. Ateşkes ihlallerinin önlenmesi için, insani yardımların Gazze'ye girebilmesi için, ayrıca Gazze'nin yeniden inşa edilebilmesi için önümüzdeki süreçte ortak atabileceğiniz adımları değerlendirecek misiniz muhatabınızla? Müsaade buyururlarsa kendisinin de bu konudaki fikirlerini almak isteriz. Teşekkür ederiz efendim.
Özellikle Gazze konusunda tabii değerli dostumla bunları da konuşarak özellikle bu bölgedeki barışı sağlama için bu liderler zirvesini çok önemsiyoruz ve bu liderler zirvesinden aynı şekilde bir kararın çıkmasını da hayra yorumluyoruz ve bunun olabileceğine de ben ihtimal veriyorum.
Efendim, Türkiye-ABD ilişkilerinin geliştiği bir dönemi gözlemliyoruz. 2025 yılında geçen yıl Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'ne yaptığınız ziyarette önemli ticari anlaşmalar da imzalandı. Suriye konusunda Türkiye'nin önemli bir aktör olduğunu söylemişti Sayın ABD Başkanı. Şimdi yeni dönemde gelmeden önce de Sayın Trump bir sürprizle geliyorum ifadesini kullandı. F-35'i, Kaan savaş uçaklarının motorlarını konuştuk. Acaba gündeme gelebilir mi şeklinde. Siz bu sürprizin ne olduğunu düşünüyorsunuz? Türkiye bugünkü görüşmelerden sonra istediğini alabilecek mi? Teşekkür ederim.
Tabii F-35 konusu biliyorsunuz bizim için yeni bir konu değil ve bunu bizler Amerika ile daha önce de görüştük ve biz 5 uçağı da sözünü aldık ve Sayın Trump'ın bu konuda bize ayrıca sözü var ve şimdi de bu liderler zirvesinde yapacağımız görüşmelerde F-35 ile ilgili kendilerinden bu daha önce aldığımız sözün ben geleceğe yönelik olumlu şekilde test ettiğimizi biliyorum ve bu konuda da Sayın Trump her zaman sözünün arkasındadır. Burada yine inşallah F-35 konusunda bu liderler zirvesinden.
What does that mean?
Is it going to be handed over to a third party? Is that not part of the deal?
Third party? What is the third, with respect to what?
There's our concerns about the Russian missile defense system. Do you have those concerns about this system? Are they going to
I have no concerns at all about anything. I mean, he's a leader of a country that he's made a much better country, much more powerful.
About this system? Are they going
I
to
have no concerns at all about anything. I mean, he's a leader of a country that he's made a much better country, much more powerful country, and you see it. I mean, it's beautiful. You get off, the roads are beautiful. It's an amazing thing. Now, I have no concerns about anything having to do with Turkey. The relationship, I would say the relationship with Turkey right now is better probably than it's ever been. It was good in my first 4 years, but I think now it's probably even better than that, if that's possible.
Sir,
U.S. military and Turkish military constitute a really strong and large military base for NATO. Are we expecting further defense cooperation out of this bilateral meeting, out of this NATO summit here in Ankara?
Well, we're going to find out when I go there. We're going to find out. We're going to be having meetings. I'm very friendly with many of the leaders. You know, some of them are new. We don't know them. But, you know, I've been doing this for now sort of a long time. If you count the 4 years where we had a rigged election, you know, I was very much into politics then, too. But I spent the first 4 years. I spent 4 years in a little different state. And then we've had an amazing, probably the best year maybe ever had by an American president. When you look at the economy, we have the greatest economy we've ever had. We have $19 trillion, $19.2 trillion to be exact, being invested in the United States. That's 7 or 8 times more than it's ever had. It's a world record, not just a U.S. record. And I just read where, in fact, coming over, I was in the car with those beautiful horses, those great riders, those great soldiers, and it came over the wires that Toyota is moving out of Mexico into the United States and building one of the biggest truck and car plants ever built. It's amazing. That's what tariffs do, if properly used. And so we've never had a more exceptional economy or potential economy. There's never been anything like it. Under the last administration, they did much less than $1 trillion of investment coming in. And we're at $19.2 trillion in actually the first 12 months, because that's where it's, you know, really, so we're there a year and a half, so that number is now substantially higher. But 19.2 trillion, Scott, for a period of 12 months. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. So we have by far the greatest economy. We have more jobs right now in the United States than ever before. And we have a great relationship with some countries on trade, and Turkey happens to be one of them.
Siz her fırsatta dünya 5'ten büyüktür, daha adil bir dünya mümkün tutuyorsunuz. Bugün konuğumuz Sayın Trump, ABD Başkanı, onun da zaman zaman küresel sistemin mevcut durumuna ilişkin eleştirilerini biliyoruz. NATO'nun 2 en büyük askeri gücü olarak bu noktada, bu eleştiriler doğrultusunda ortak bir adım, ortak bir girişimde bulunması önümüzdeki süreçte söz konusu olabilir mi?
NATO'da 2 önemli ülke olarak gerek Amerika gerekse Türkiye, bizler bu liderler zirvesinden de dayanışma içerisinde güçlü bir çıkışı sağlayacağız ve bunu da başaracağımıza inanıyorum.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı Rusya-Ukrayna savaşı konusunda savaşın başından bu yana arabuluculuk tesis ettiğiniz, 2 ülkenin dışişleri bakanlarını Antalya Diplomasi Forumu'nda bir araya getirdiniz. İstanbul'da çok önemli müzakereler yürüttünüz. Bu zirve kapsamında da Sayın Trump'ın Sayın Zelenski ile görüşeceğini biliyoruz. Nihai aşama olarak hangi noktadayız? Savaşın sonlanması konusundaki gidişata ilişkin değerlendirmeniz nedir? Teşekkürler.
Antalya Diplomasi Forumu'nda Dışişleri Bakanlarımız bir araya geldiler. İstanbul müzakere sürecini de...
Is that for me? Are you asking me or are you asking the president? The president, yes.
Biz Rusya-Ukrayna arasındaki bu gelişmeleri de yine değerli dostumla burada paylaşacağız, görüşeceğiz ve ona göre de adımlarımızı atacağız.
Televizyon kanalından Hatice Kübra Bal, benim sorum da aslında az önce biraz yanıtladınız ama Türkiye'nin 5. nesil uçağı Kaan motorları için F-110 motorlarından söz edeceğiz. Aynı zamanda kassa yaptırımları ve bu bağlamda da F-35 alımı ile ilgili aslında bu görüşmeden bir somut sonuç bekleyebilir miyiz? Onu merak ediyoruz.
Ben bunu daha önce değerli dostumla görüştüm ve Kaan'la ilgili onun motorları noktasında bu liderler zirvesinde bu görüşmeyi değerli dostumla tekrar bir araya geldik. Onu görüşeceğiz ve inanıyorum ki bununla ilgili bize verdiği müjdeyi burada da tekrar edecektir ve bu müjdeyle de herhalde liderler zirvesinde kendisine teşekkür edeceğiz.
You know, I might add that Turkey bought planes. It's the best plane. But they bought planes from the United States. And when you buy a plane from the United States, if there's engine rehab and other things that are done to engines, there's various things that happen, including just maintenance. I think we have an obligation to maintain engines and help them maintain engines. When you buy a plane from us, what are we going to do? Say you're buying a plane if the engine needs work or if the engine has to be rehabilitated or even upgraded somewhat, but I think we have an obligation to do that. What are you going to do? Say, I'm not going to do that? Look, Turkey's been, I know, you know, a lot of people don't agree, although I think with time they're starting to. Turkey has been a great ally for us. Turkey could have gone on the side. They know Iran very well, and they know the problems with Iran. But they've been very instrumental, along with a couple of other countries, of helping. They could have gotten into the fight. You know, I hear some people saying about their relationship with Israel. They could have gotten into the fight. They're a very powerful military nation. They didn't do that. Maybe they didn't do that because of me, but they could have gotten into the fight on the other side. They are a nation that's been very, very good, and I can speak for myself as president. They've been extraordinary in many ways with respect to our relationship, including trying to end the war with Iran, or whatever you call it. It's not even a war, it's a military operation. It's a denuclearization. That's really what it is, of Iran, because I don't think he wants to see them have a nuclear weapon either. I'm pretty sure of that. In fact, I'm totally sure of that. So, but when they buy a product from us, whether it's a plane or anything else, when it's time for maintenance, I think don't we have an obligation to help them? What are we going to do? Say we're not going to let you use the product that you spent a lot of money in buying? And especially when it's been somebody that frankly has been more helpful to the United States than many other more traditional countries. I do. I had a very good talk with President Putin, who, by the way, has a lot of respect for President Erdogan, a lot of respect for him. We had a long talk yesterday. It lasted a long time, and I also spoke with President Zelensky right after that. I think they both want to make a deal. It's too bad it took so long, but I think there's going to be something's going to come out, and the president's also helping us with that. But I think there's something. You know, I settled 8 wars, and I think we're going to be settling a 9th. It doesn't seem likely now, but sometimes with war, I see when it's least likely, that's when it happens. I had a very good talk with President Putin. I had a very good talk with, I would say, as a combination. A lot of times I'd do well with Putin, and Zelensky would be a problem, or vice versa. Zelensky would be great, and Putin would be. They both want to get it settled now. More than that, that's all I do in my life is deals. I know deals. And I think I think we're going to get it settled, hopefully soon. Last month, 35,000, mostly soldiers, died. The month before that, it was 24,000. The month before that, it was 27,000. And the month before that, it was 29,000. But last month, it was 35,000 young soldiers, mostly soldiers, died. And that's crazy.
bahsediyoruz. Ancak savunma sanayi işbirliğimizi sürdürebilmemiz için Amerika'nın katsa yaptırımlarını da kaldırmış oldu. Burada kendisinin bu konuda aslında mesajları da oldu geçtiğimiz aylarda. Sayın Başkan'ın da bu konuda olumlu düşündüğünü biliyoruz. Hem ticaret hacmi hedefine ulaşmak hem de NATO zirvesinde burada Sayın Trump gelmeden önce de açıkladılar. Aslında yaptırımlarının Türkiye'ye uygulanıyor olmasının bir tezat olduğu çok düşünülüyor. Bu noktada, bu görüşmede artık somut bir netice alınabilir mi? Ayrıca siz bunu gündeme taşıyacaksınızdır. Muhtemelen Sayın Başkanım da bu konudaki düşünceleri de alabilirsem mutlu olurum. Teşekkür ediyorum.
I can tell you, we're going to be taking the sanctions off. Okay? I don't want him to waste his time answering that question because we're working very closely with Marco Rubio, a very famous man, great Secretary of State, and with Scott Bessent, and with Pete and everybody else. We're going to be taking the sanctions off. It's time to do that. Okay? We don't want to sanction friends. It's very simple. There's plenty of people we can sanction, and we are sanctioned. We don't want to sanction friends. And because of the president, you know, we have a very good relationship with the new leader of Syria, and he's done an amazing job. In a year and a half, he's pulled the whole country together. And I have a very great relationship with him. And somebody said, well, he's pretty rough to put him there. I approved him along with the president. We were the two that really wanted him. And he's done a great job. He's done a great job. He's pulled it together. Not an easy job.
Post yesterday with respect to Prime Minister Maloney, that true social post with the restraining order.
Oh, I don't know. I think she's a nice person, actually. We've had a good, we had a bad relationship. It became a little bad because she refused to help us. Again, I didn't put a heavy press on her, but she refused to get involved with the Hormuz Strait, or you could also say just Iran. She refused to get involved. So it soured my relationship with her a little bit. But I like her. I think she's a nice person, actually. But I think she made a mistake. You know, they get a lot of their oil from... We don't get any of our... We have a lot of oil. The United States has more oil than anybody. And when you add Venezuela to it, it's like we have far more oil than anybody. We don't need the straits. We do this because we think it's an important thing to do. But she just wasn't there for us. And I wasn't happy about that. You can imagine. I wasn't happy about that.
Why do you think that? What conditions have changed? Did Putin seem...
About with what?
Russia, Ukraine. Did Putin seem open to any concessions that he
Never
had?
changed. I just don't want him killing people. You know, it doesn't affect the United States. When Biden was here, he gave them hundreds of billions of dollars worth of equipment. Now I sell the equipment for, you know, fair price, the full price. And I sell it not to Ukraine, I sell it to the European Union. They pay us. But with me, it's not anything to do other than I'd like to save lives. You have 25, 35, 30. One time it hit 41,000 a month souls. They're dead. They leave their mother in Ukraine. They leave their mother and father in Russia, Ukraine. They wave goodbye. And a week later, they're dead. It's crazy. And I would like to see. It doesn't affect us. It's really, you know, it's far away. It affects Europe much more. We're there to help Europe, but it doesn't affect the United States. We have an ocean in between. But, you know, it's just, I can't stand watching what's happening. I've seen the pictures of those battlefields, and it's a drone war. It's a war of drones. It's a whole new technology. And we're actually the leader in drones now. We have the most sophisticated drones, but people wouldn't believe how violent it is. And I've seen the battlefields. They send me pictures. I actually want to say, don't send them to me. Pete, this man right here sends me pictures. Pete Hegseth. And I said, Pete, you know what? Doesn't help to look. I've never seen anything like it. It's carnage. And it should stop.
Open to any concessions to end the war? Did Putin seem open to any concessions to end the war in your call with him?
I get along very well with both, and we're going to get it settled. And President Erdogan's helping us get it settled, as he's helping with Iran. With respect to what? Well, that's what hurt my relationship with NATO. Because Greenland doesn't help Denmark. Denmark doesn't spend money to really help Greenland, but it's an important part for the United States. And it's surrounded by China ships and Russian ships. And that's not going to happen. The ships is It's not going to happen. It was Greenland that, and it continues to be, that should be controlled by the United States, not by Denmark. And when they wouldn't go along with it, and with all the money we spend to help them with Russia, and we don't have to spend any money, we could remove all of our soldiers out of Europe. Because as you probably noticed, Europe's a very different place than it was 20 years ago. A lot different, much different. It's a much different, and they better be careful with immigration and energy. If they're not careful with those two things, you're not going to have a Europe anymore. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Değerli arkadaşlar,
तुर्क सदर रजब तैयब एर्दोगान और अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की मीडिया से गुफ्तगू आपने मुलाहिजा की। अभी जियो हेडलाइंस। बलूचिस्तान के जिला ज़ियारत में दहशतगर्दों का पुलिस चौकी पर हमला, फायरिंग के तबादले में थाना मंगी और थाना क्वास के SHO समेत 9 पुलिस एहलकार शहीद। सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेज और पुलिस का दहशतगर्दों के खिलाफ क्लियरेंस ऑपरेशन, 15 दहशतगर्द हलाक कर दिए। DSP गुलाम सरवर समेत 8 पुलिस एहलकार बहिफाजत थाना काज पहुंच गए। कांस्टेबल रिजवान को भी बहिफाजत बाजियाब करा लिया गया। मुआविन वज़ीर आला बलूचिस्तान शाहिद रिंद ने कहा कि ज़ियारत में फितनतुल खवारिज के दहशतगर्दों के खिलाफ क्लियरेंस ऑपरेशन में 15 दहशतगर्द मारे गए। बलूचिस्तान में दहशतगर्दों के लिए कोई महफूज पनाहगाह नहीं, हर हमले का फैसलाकुन जवाब दिया जाएगा। इंटेलिजेंस बुनियादों पर कार्रवाइयाँ जारी रहेंगी। वाक़े के खिलाफ मकामी कबाइल, ट्रांसपोर्टर्स और लवाहिकीन का ज़ियारत समेत मुख्तलिफ मकामात पर एहतजाज। अहम कौमी शाहराहें बंद, सैकड़ों मालबरदार और मुसाफिर गाड़ियाँ फंस गईं।
बलूचिस्तान में 15 खवारिज जो हैं वो जहन्नम रसीद किए गए हैं और इस हवाले से भी हमारी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस और अफवाज पाकिस्तान के अंदर इन दहशतगर्दों के खात्मे के लिए शबाना रोज़ काविशें कर रही हैं, कार्रवाइयाँ कर रही हैं और इंशाअल्लाह वो दिन दूर नहीं जब इस मुल्क के अंदर दहशतगर्दी का मुकम्मल तौर पर सफाया होगा।
सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस दहशतगर्दों के खात्मे के लिए कार्रवाइयाँ कर रही हैं। वो दिन दूर नहीं जब मुल्क से दहशतगर्दी का मुकम्मल खात्मा होगा। वज़ीर आज़म शहबाज शरीफ की बलूचिस्तान में दहशतगर्दी के वाक़यात की मसम्मत, 15 खवारिज को जहन्नुम वासिल करने पर सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस को खिराज तहसीन पेश किया। शहदा के लिए दुआ और फातेहानी की। दूसरी जानिब सदर मुमलिकत, वज़ीर आला बलूचिस्तान और वफाकी वज़ीर दाखिला की भी फितनतुल खवारिज के दहशतगर्द हमले की मसम्मत, भारतीय स्पॉन्सर्ड दहशतगर्दों को हलाक करने पर सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस और पुलिस की सताइश की। सदर आसिफ अली जरदारी ने कहा, बलूचिस्तान में अमन इस्तेहकाम को सबूताज करने की हर साजिश नाकाम बनाएंगे। वज़ीर दाखिला मोहसिन नकवी ने शहदा के लवाहिकीन से ताज़ियत की। कहा, दहशतगर्दों के बुज़दिलाना हमले अमन को सबूताज नहीं कर सकते। वज़ीर आला सरफराज बुख्ती ने कहा कि रियासत के खिलाफ हथियार उठाने वालों के लिए बलूचिस्तान की सरजमीन तंग कर दी जाएगी। रियासत की रेट को चैलेंज करने वालों का अंजाम सिर्फ शिकस्त और हलाकत है। कोयटा एयरपोर्ट रोड पर हन्ना ओढ़क वाक़े के खिलाफ लवाहिकीन और इलाका मकीनों का धरना तीसरे रोज भी जारी। एयरपोर्ट रोड हर किस्म की ट्रैफिक के लिए बंद। शहरियों को मुश्किलात। मुजाहिरीन का हन्ना ओढ़क से मुसल्लह जत्थों का खात्मा करके इलाके को क्लियर करने और 11 मुखियों की बहिफाजत बाजियाबी का मुतालिबा। वकीला का भी वाक़े के खिलाफ अदालती कार्रवाई का बॉयकॉट। अदालतों में पेश नहीं हुए। पुलिस के मुताबिक 5 जुलाई को हन्ना ओढ़क के इलाके के लिए बबरी में नामालूम मुसल्लह अफराद की फायरिंग से 4 मकामी अफराद जाम हक, 9 जख्मी हुए थे। हन्ना ओढ़क में ऑपरेशन के दौरान 4 दहशतगर्द भी मारे गए थे। धमकियां जारी रहीं तो हतमी मुआहिदे पर मुज़ाकरात नहीं होंगे। ईरानी वज़ीर ख़ारजा अब्बास अराग़ची ने खबरदार कर दिया। कहा, ईरान और अमरीका मुफ़ाहमती यादाश्त में वाज़ेह है कि धमकियों की सूरत में हतमी मुआहिदे पर मुज़ाकरात शुरू नहीं होंगे। अमरीका मुआहिदे की पासदारी करे। ईरान के अवाम और मुसल्लह अफ़वाज किसी धमकी से नहीं डरते। लाखों ईरानियों ने आयतुल्लाह ख़amenei को ख़िराज अक़ीदत पेश करने के लिए जनाज़े में इत्तेहाद का मुज़ाहरा किया। अमेरिकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का एक बार फिर ईरान को एटमी मवाद के मामले पर जल्द डील करने की वार्निंग। ईरान से जौहरी मवाद के मामले पर रियायतें मिलने का दावा किया। ओवल ऑफिस में सहाफ़ियों से गुफ्तगू करते हुए कहा कि ईरान से कुछ रियायतें मिल गई हैं। ईरान से अफसूदा जौहरी मवाद हासिल कर रहे हैं। ईरान या तो मुआहदा करे वरना अमेरिका किसी न किसी तरह ये काम मुकम्मल कर लेगा और ये काम अमेरिका के लिए मुश्किल नहीं होगा। 1 घंटे में उनके